Introduction to Philosophy and Critical Thinking. Group number 2, Final Project. To Mr. Raja ISRAR. Topic: How philosophy is important in developing analytical and writing skills. Group members: Sadia Muskan, Simra Turab, Danial Hussain, Abdul Rahman. Muhammad Qasim, Hasnan Zahid, Asma Khan, and Komal Zahra. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sadia Muskan and roll number is 33547, and my topic for this presentation is Introduction to How Philosophy is Important in Developing Analytical and Writing Skills. We often find ourselves juggling between professional and personal life, making several quick decisions every second, and trying to find right words to communicate effectively. Since anything that leads us to a better understanding and knowledge is what philosophy is all about, we can say that analytical and writing skills directly correlate to philosophy. Socrates says the unexamined life is not worth living. This quote shows the importance of analytical and writing skills. Since analytical skill is all about analyzing data and there is nothing better than writing to express and discover what we know of, let's first talk about what analytical thinking is. It is a soft skill that requires the ability to collect, analyze information, problem solving, and making decisions. It is an initial skill which is a first step to any successful thought. We need analytical skill in our day-to-day life to ensure quality of our work. In workplaces, employers consider it to be one of the top factors in a potential employee. Whereas writing is a medium of human communication that involves the representation of a language with written symbols. These symbols shape out thoughts so they can be communicated efficiently. As John Dearden likes to put it, I write entirely to find out what I am thinking, what I am looking at, what I see, what it means, and what I want and what I fear. The art of writing is the art of discovering what you believe. So our group is going to present you how philosophy is important in developing analytical and writing skills.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Simra Turab and my roll number is 33539 and my topic is analytical skills. Analytical skill is a skill that requires you to dissect a problem and then find a solution for that problem. In analytical, you take a series of an event and put them in a sequence or write an article with a critical eye. Following are the examples for analytical skills: handling assignments effectively, discovering a more efficient and productive way to complete a particular job task, collect information, analyze the data from the information collected, and come up with a solution to a problem. Reporting, a written report on the effectiveness of a particular event such as a political campaign. Analyzing abilities, the ability to take large volumes of data and then analyze trends and produce a result.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Danial Hussain and my ID is 32668, and today I will talk about the development of analytical skills in philosophy. So basically analytical thinking is the mental process of breaking down complex information or comprehensive data into fundamental parts or basic principles. And now my first point is Philosophy allows you better understanding regards everything we can possibly think of. It gives us new perspectives, hence we are able to analyze the concepts, definitions, arguments, and problems more efficiently than other. It contributes to our capacity to frame hypotheses, to do research, and to put problems in manageable form, to deal with the questions of values, and to extract what is essential from large quantities of information. So I will explain that philosophy, it is a basically that allows you to understand different perspectives, ideas, concepts more effectively and efficiently, through which you can analyze large amount of informations. So, in my second point, philosophical thinking strongly emphasizes clear formulations of ideas and problems, and problem selections of relevant data and objective methods of assessing ideas and proposals. It also emphasizes the development of a senses of the new directions suggested by new hypotheses and questions one encountered while doing research. So that philosophical thinking allows a person to assess the problems and to find a new solutions. It emphasizes on the development of senses of new directions for the queries that develops during the research. And my third point is philosophers regularly build on both the success and failures coming their way. They can do research on a variety of subjects. They can generate ideas on many different sorts of problems. They can formulate and solve problems. They can elicit hidden assumptions and articulated overlooked alternatives. So the philosophy have the ability to assess the problems, generate solutions, collecting informations and data assessments. In short, they can perform varieties of a task. And now my fourth point is they can persuade people to take unfamiliar views or novel options seriously. They can summarize complicated materials without undue simplifications. They can integrate diverse data and construct useful analogies. So they have a way to simplify things. For example, they can construct different analysis using diverse data, and they can summarize it into a simpler words. And my last point is they can distinguish subtle difference without overlooking similarities and form a common grounds. It also helps us to synthesize a variety of views or perspectives into one a unified whole. So philosophers basically can find out the differences and similarities of a single term and can organize different views, perspectives, and opinion into one whole idea. So this is how philosophy works, and this is philosophy plays an important role in development of analytical skills in philosophy. Thank you so much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sayyid Muhammad Qasim 32586 and my other group member is Abdurrahman Sheikh 32641, and our topic is philosophy in writing skills. Philosophy teaches interpretive writing through the examinations of difficult texts, comparative writing through the emphasis on fairness to opposing viewpoints, argumentative writing through the development of students' ability to establish their own point of view, and descriptive writing through the detailed deposition of concrete objects. Further, it is explained in many points. So now the first point is writing in the externalization of thought. It is an attempt to make manifest, to make available to others the internal conversation that take place within our own heads. As a result, exceptional writing is essentially the result of exceptional thinking. Second point is systematic, clear and logical writing. Learning to carefully and methodically think about and make sense of your ideas is prerequisite for conveying your thoughts to others in a persuasive, engaging and intelligible manner. Third point is ability to think critically and to write effectively. Philosophy is the activity ideally suited to helping us refine both how we think and the matter on which we think, because it is the search for truth by the use of argumentation, reasoning, and constant questioning. Now, the fourth point is writing begins through thoughts. Without exception, writing begins inside the mind before a single word is ever written or typed out. Exceptional writing is fundamentally grounded in exceptional writing. Now, further, Abdurrahman will explain the points.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdur Rahman. My ID is 32641 and I am going to explain the further points. And the fifth point is structure matters. It helps the reader understand what and where are in the argument. Simple subject predicate. Active voice sentences are the easiest sentences to understand. If deviate from that pattern, consider whether it is justified. It often is, but there should be some justification. Evidence is golden. The concrete is easier to understand than the abstract. When someone is speaking abstractly, they should know how and what they are saying applies to concrete reality. If not, I would question whether such ungrounded abstract writing is meaningful. Some library or internet research to find reliable evidence. Seventh point is defining important words. Important words in argument is often helpful if they have some specific meaning in mind, and the word might seem vague or ambitious to the reader, or it might mislead because others have used the word differently. Help the reader by offering a definition. And the last point is restating your thesis. The first section of conclusion is just a brief restatement of the study. Make sure they aren't merely restating their thesis, fresh and fascinating vocabulary should be used. Do not just summarize the main points of case until thesis has been restated. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hasnain Zahid and I talk to you about development of writing skill in philosophy. First point, writing is strongly taught in philosophical studies and many philosophical texts are not published as texts. Philosophy develops interpretive writing by examining challenging texts. Comparative writing, emphasizing partially. Contradictive writing by developing students' ability to formulate their own ideas, and descriptive writings by elaborating detailed concrete examples. Second point, in a way approach to writing only as a function, they focusing only on its functional aspects make us forget about the precepts of its functional categories. We often talk about the right time to write or how much one should per day, and for a good reason. These are important aspects of writing, but they are not alone. Third point, why writing does not start with a laptop or a notebook. Writing as a process that proceeds meaningful influence text involve intangible that we sometimes take for granted. Feeling worldly, inspiring, and artists, and the effort of intelligible understanding. Fourth point, in a perfect world, there would no needed for word counting, word for word editing, and writing software would be useful because our writing will have magical made our mind some kind of tangible and intangible reality. Fifth point, sadly the world around us is far different, but guess what? As a writer, you can really change it. You can do that by symbolizing in your text, and even in reality, by donating your writing to social change and paradigm changes. Sixth point, the reason we needed Sophocles, Shakespeare, or Roman poet are not simply because of their literal powers, but because their writing brought about a change in the way we think about the world. Last point, Karl Marx, another brilliant writer and philosopher, argued that philosophers have interpreted the world in different way, and yet point is that we have changed it. As a writer, you have the power to do that, so make all the world listed. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asma Khan, and today I and my friend Komal Zahra will represent the topic relation between analytical and writing skills. So let's start relation between analytical and writing skills. Point number 1 will be explained by me and point number 2 and 3 will be explained by Komal Zahra. Now let's start. Analytical and writing skill has very close relationship. Study philosophy breeds in you the skill of analyzing things which allow you to collect, organize, visualize and estimate data. On the other hand, writing skills include all the knowledge and ability related to expressing idea through the written word. As you all know, philosophy helps us to polish the skill of analyzing things, which help us to collect, organize and visualize data. On the other hand, writing skills help us to express
Asma
idea
already explained the
through
point number
written
1.
words.
I'm going to explain the point number 2 and 3. So let's start with the point number 2. In my opinion, if person is not a good observer and cannot see the things around him very carefully and deeply, then he will not be able to write about it. A person who is not a good observer has less information about things happening around him or around the world. Information is very important for writing. If you do not have enough information about topic you're going to write about, then it is very difficult for you to write about it. But if you are a good observer, then it is very easy for you to write about anything because of your observing skills. If we observe around us, then we can see that all the creative writers have their own way to see things, which is very different from a normal person, which we call philosophical thinking. Now let's take the example of writers and artists. They are very good observers. They have their own way to see the world. They notice things that we ignored and that help them in writing. And now we are talking about philosophical thinking that help us collect information, observe and then visualize things by improving, which help us improving our writing skills. Let's move to the point number 3. Analytical skills explore and confront the assumptions that frame the way we think, act, and see the world around us. Analytical skills help us to understand and face the assumptions we have, and on the basis of these assumptions, we act, think, and see the world around us. It helps us to know what is wrong and what is right for us. On the other hand, writing skills help us to see the different perspective of one situation to understand it better. It also helps us to extend our imaginative capabilities and allow us to think widely.